YouTube, how's it going everybody? I know it's been a while. Back with my first build video for the new Path of Exile 1 League. Listen, I know. We never thought we'd get here. Doomer mentality everywhere, but we're here, we're blasting. Some of us are blasting. RIP everybody in EU. Day 1, 2, and maybe even now. But you know. Anyway, irregardless, here we are. First video of the league, and this is going to be for my Fire Golemancr Elementalist. We have taken down pretty much everything that stood in front of us. We've done our boss fights solo. We're blasting. We've got like anywhere between 18 to 20 million damage right now on the build. Let me just go ahead and just run through what we've got going on here. I've got a POB pulled up for you. I've got my current character. I've got what the character will be progressing into over the next couple of levels. I'm only level 89. Listen, I'm a lazy mapper. I don't want to read. I don't read any map mods. I just put it in and run it. Doesn't matter. T16, T16.5, T17. I put it in, I run it. I don't care. So there's gonna, you know, we should probably be like level 93, 94 right now, but it's fine. And who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Anyway, let's just go over quickly the character in game before we pull up the POB. We're currently rocking quite a bit of uniques. So we've got a Pledge of Hands, we've got a Brass Dome, we've got a Primordial Chain, and we actually were lucky enough to get one for a single Divine that +1 curse on it, which saved us quite a few points. Big ups there to the guy that sold that. Thank you, I love you. The Dark Monarch, this helmet's insane. We already used Primordial Chain on a Golem build anyway, which already said you could only have Golems. So the only downside from this helmet is that, you know, there is no downside. It's double your minions, dude. What are you doing? Double your minions. That's insane. Hello? What are they doing? Pyro Shot class, we are Elementalist. And then we've got a bunch of gear on our Mercenary as well that we are taking into account because this was all put together purposely to support the build. We take our Mercenary into everything. Maven, Uber Elder, doesn't matter. Mercenaries coming in. We don't care. Give them the 50% damage, the 50% health buff. They need it. I promise. It's insane. Just to give you a quick showing of what we've got again before we hop over to POB. She's got a Legacy of Fury for Scorch and increased Scorch effect. We don't care about the explosion, just the Scorch. She's got a Combs Binding for 25% physical convert to fire. We were trying Winds of Change. They're not really noticeable or doing anything. So don't ignore this. This doesn't do anything. We also have a Highwayman on her to stop things from having charges. I haven't actually stopped to see if this is actually working. We're just gonna go with it is. We've got a Dodri's Damning because she is where we are getting our elemental weakness from. Which is why we have 3 curses on the build. One of them is from our Mercenary. So we're getting our element weakness from there. We have an Eye of Malice because we are double cursing element weakness and flammability. On top of which we're an Elementalist. And we do have Wave of Conviction to shred of resistances. So yeah, this is just a huge multiplier to our damage. And then we're getting a Haste Aura from her as well. Like, she's got a damage wand, but like, I don't care about her damage at all. She's solely here to buff the boys. That's all she does. Buff the boys. Anyway, let me go ahead and hop into POB and we can go ahead and break down some things for you and get you on your way to Carpet Bombing Ray class. Hey, if you're watching this video right now and this looks like an interesting build for you, maybe throw the channel a follow. I'm trying to grow the channel, of course, and every sub and every comment is just mind-blowingly amazing and effective and just great. And I love you for it. Please do it. Push the button. Just click it. It's just one click. Like that. Anyway, let's get back to the video. Also, if you're catching this video soon after it's uploaded, I'm probably live streaming. Come check me out. Links are in the description, and I may be live on YouTube as well. Maybe. Also, Discord link down there if you want to come hang out. Alrighty, so this is the current tree for our character. Let me zoom out. Do you notice anything? We got a lot of cluster jewels, and guess what? We need another one down here as well. This is we've got points in places they don't need to be. Eventually, we will be moving down here and getting a 4th cluster. Let me go ahead and show you something else interesting. Notice something? We use a lot of primordial harmonies. Like as many, literally we use one eminence, we use one anima stone. Everything else, every jewel socket is a harmony. Want to see why? Look at that damage. See that damage? That damage says 19 million. Want to see what happens if I take this off? 16 million. Take another one off. 13.3 million. Put harmonies everywhere. Everywhere. This build is all about just like stretching for as many harmonies as you can get. That's it. All right. My flasks are actually a joke. Ignore them. I'll figure that out eventually, dude. For our staff, for weapon, we are using a Pledge of Hands. This is the staff that this is where our main golem is going to be placed into, so it gets the 30%, the level 30 greater echo. We are using Summon Flame Golem of Hordes. The Flame Golem of Hordes gets you extra max summon and cooldown recovery rate. Very huge deal. Our count is 80. No, that's not a meme. That's actually our count. Our guys shoot off an ability. They shoot a magma ball, and it has greater volley on it. And we take AoE for our minions, and those balls overlap, which means every single fire minion is shooting 5 balls that overlap. We have currently 16 flame golems. That's 80 balls to the face. All right. That we are carpet bombing everything. As you can see, we don't really have much in the way of awakened gems. We've got like our awakened control destruction, but that's it. LE focus, greater volley, echo, minion damage, control destruction. Minion damage and LE focus should both be awakened, by the way. Getting awakened gems to level 5 on this build is so much damage. Let me show you. Currently 19.4 million. Let's just change this to awakened LE focus. And change this to awakened minion damage. Level 5, and then take the control destruction to level 5 as well. We go from 19.4 to 25.7. It's a lot of damage getting those to level 5. Also, because you're level 5, you get a nerve taking you to 27.6. It is a ton of damage. An actual ton of damage getting those gems to level 5. Other than that, we are using quite a few other golems as well. Technically, we should be using more golems than we're actually using. Every time we lose a golem, we lose a little bit of life, but we also get 3 more flame. We also get another flame golem in its place, shooting out 5 more projectiles. So it's not a huge loss. When I got rid of the last golem, we took off the physical golem because it doesn't really do anything for us. And also I needed the gem slot. So we went from like 20.1 down to like 19.5 or something. It's not a huge damage loss. Also, you're freeing up extra sockets, so there's that. I'm not even gonna bother doing this. For some reason I've typed the word minion damage in here 3 times and it's just not coming up for me, or I'm just too blind to click on the thing. There we go, back to our 19.4 million. And just to show you what I mean in regard to the golem, if I come down here and I add in the golem that we're missing, which is a carrion golem right now, and then we remove the 5 shots from the one that gets replaced, you see we were at 19.4, we go to 20.8. So it is a damage differential, but we do need the sockets, and so we can't just run every single golem at all times. We are running almost all of them, though, so it's not a big deal. On our support links, we're using a Wave of Conviction, Enfeeble, and Flammability on an Arcanist brand. Flammability flammability has to be on here. The Enfeeble the third curse is up to you. You could go Enfeeble, you can go Temporal or Chains. You could also go Punishment. Punishment is a huge damage increase. A huge damage increase. What I typically like to do when I'm calculating punishment is like average it out. So at level, you know, 19.4, and then if we tick that option on the boss, we go to 27.4, split the difference, 23.4. Essentially, is how I would look at that. So that is an option. I've been rocking Enfeeble just because, dude, those mercenaries. Listen. We have a couple of layers of defense on this build. Those mercenaries are insane, dude. They just are. Anyway, continuing down the list of our gear. We have our Dark Monarch. These, I bought this for like 80 chaos. Last I saw, they're up to like 2.5 to 3 div right now. So they have gone up. But they're very, very, very strong, right? Currently we have 20 total golems. If we take this helmet off, we go down to 10. So let me show you what that looks like. Without the helmet, we have to cut our number of golems down, which means we're losing essentially 10 minions, which means we're losing 50 shots. So we go from 80 balls to the face down to 30 balls to the face. It's a lot. This helmet is insane. It basically triples our damage. Like, it basically triples our damage. So it's very much worth the price tag. It's absolutely cracked. We are using a brass dome with +5 max elemental resistances. I bought a +5 for 1 divine, and then I just threw it into a corruption chamber to try to hit the off colors. We need a lot of off colors on this thing. Unfortunately, there's just not really anywhere else to get them. We need a lot of non-red sockets on the build. It just is what it is. Prior to brass dome, prior to brass dome, instead of zealotry, I had prior to brass dome, I was using a lightning coil and a purity of lightning. But brass dome is just superior in every way. Also, getting rid of crits is massive. It makes so many more modifiers do literally nothing. Our gloves are very simple, just life, regen, resistance. Boots, life, regen, movement speed, resistances. The scorched ground doesn't even do anything because we have scorch on our merc, and just the merc never dies, even in boss fights. Primordial chain. Our allocation is breath of lightning. This is multiplying the 25% shock that we're getting from Elementalist. It is about it is a large bit of damage. We also have +1 curse. If you can't get +1 curse, just look for any, usable implicit. The roll on your damage on this thing does matter, by the way. It is very impactful. If I take this up to say 35, I think that's what the worst roll is. See that? We lose 10% of our damage with a bad roll. And our roll could technically be better, because if we had a 25, we would actually gain 3% damage. So the roll on this is very impactful. It is a less damage multiplier. All right, so very impactful. If you're not getting a curse, if you're not getting an already corrupted amulet, go for the lowest number possible. They're extremely cheap. You can buy a ton for 1C if you want to start chaos volley them yourself. Ring, I got this. This ring is insane. I'll just be honest. This ring is kind of insane. It's a bone finger ring with attack speed, damage, movement speed, and dexterity. I got this off ROG. Other ring is just life and resistances to get us to our cap. We don't need to overcap because we do take protection mastery, so we don't have to worry about curses. We are shifting 95% of our elemental damage, our physical damage taken to elemental. So raising our max res is very, very effective for raising our total max hit and how much damage we can actually sustain taking. We are using a Pyro Shock class. This one has a max dexterity roll. Again, we do need dexterity. We are kind of hard up for it. And of course, we have 15-15 because of why would we not? This is contributing to our physical hit being so good. Well, not you know, it's respectable. We're not out here. We're not champing it up or anything. It's respectable. Um, Cluster jewels. Cluster jewels. Renewal is the big one. Renewal is the big one. So I have renewal and feasting fiends on every single cluster jewel, and then you have to have a third passive on here. I've tried to like mess with the cluster jewels to see if you could not have 3 passives. You have to have 3 passives, otherwise the point allocation is just weird. You can't do it. You got to have 3 passives: renewal, feasting fiends, and something else. We go for feasting fiends because it helps keep our minions topped up and keep them at high health to get the double damage bonus from renewal. You could go raise and it has 20% damage on it, but you don't get the leech. The leech and the regen are what keep them topped up and keep them doing double damage, which is why it's so good. You'll see I have that on every single cluster. Renewal, feasting fiends, call the slaughter. Call the slaughter doesn't matter, we don't take it. Renewal, feasting fiends, call the slaughter again. Renewal, feasting fiends, primordial bond. We don't take the primordial bond. Doesn't matter. All that matters is renewal and feasting fiends. And that's also the same thing that's going to be on my 4th cluster jewel as well. Same exact thing. That exact same setup. If you want to try to craft them yourself, I crafted all of mine myself because it came out to be cheaper for me to do so. What I did was I purchased 8 passive jewels, item level between 68 and 68 and 83. That's what I purchased. And then I just used 1 socket resonator with a life fossil, and that's what we did. Oftentimes, if I hit two, I would slam it. I don't know how cost effective that is now, but I don't know. Just check the price on things and see what you think is going to be reasonable for you to do. Going back to our skill links, I actually have to remove one thing here. Enduring Cry is no longer here. Steel Skin is in the links now, right here. So I can remove that and replace that with Enduring Cry, because I did move this around. That way our Steel Skin is automated. Okay, so we have 2120 Enduring Cry. So on automation, we have Convocation, we have Steel Skin, which is just, why am I not able to type today? I have a 21-0 Steel Skin. I'd like a 2120, but I just didn't want to pay for it. We have Convocation. You don't always want Convocation on. It's actually, having Convocation on can actually kind of reduce your damage on single target a little bit if you're not careful with your positioning. Did I mention I'm lazy? Did I mention I'm lazy? Anyway. Convocation, Steel Skin on automation. We have Flame Dash for our movement skill, of course. I need to get that quality, but listen, lazy, okay? If question is why didn't you do X, refer to that, lazy. Of course, again, our Arcanist brand is Wave of Conviction, Flammability, and Curse of your choice. Could be Punishment, could be Temp Change, could be Enfeeble. I love Enfeeble, but you do you, boo-boo. On our chest, we have Stone Golem, Lightning Golem, and Chaos Golem. The Stone Golem and the Chaos Golem are 20 quality to buff their buffs even more. Those are linked with a Culling Strike and a Feeding of Frenzy. And then we have a Ice Golem as well. Purity of Elements and Zealotry are the curses, or excuse me, Purity of Elements and Zealotry are our reservation mods. And our last one is Flesh and Stone. Originally, I was not using Flesh and Stone for the end game setup for this, but I'm finding it to be really, really important because look at that hit. Look at that hit. Just, you know, I mean, we use Flame Dash anyway a lot, so we're on top of things a lot. So it's very, very, very good. Of course, we have our Summon Flame Golem of Hordes, Elemental Focus or Awakened Elemental Focus, Greater Volley, Spell Echo, Minion damage or awakened minion damage, and then controlled destruction or awakened controlled destruction. Of course, I showed you earlier just how impactful your level 5 skills are going to be if you get your awakened gems. So work toward or purchase those ASAP. That will be one of my primary focuses when progressing this build going further. We do, of course, have Enduring Cry as well. We have 5 max endurance charges on this build, which is 20% DR for both physical and elemental damage, which is really, really nice. Our tree, again, is a very, very simple tree. We come out, we grab life, we go through, get gem sockets from more harmonies. We use Eldritch batteries since we have no, like, all of our mana is currently being used. We come up, we get the jewel socket from more harmonies, get life, jewel socket from more harmonies, life, and a little bit of reservation efficiency so we can fit in all 3 auras. We do get redemption for the attack speed, and then we use that for the increased AoE. The increased AoE makes your it's just really nice. You've got multiple overlapping projectiles. AoE just it's a nice quality of life for your minions and makes everything feel better. Jewel socket, eminence, life, jewel socket again. Get your anima stone in there somewhere. I use a copy of eminence, but you don't have to. Eminence, every eminence gives you like 5 chaos res, but it's also vastly inferior to harmony in regard to your actual damage. So that's going to be up to you. You could just replace that eminence with another harmony. If I do that right now, we go up to 20.1. So, you know, it's up to you. I like to use 1 eminence. We come down here for the max res right here, and right here. I plan to grab this at my next level up at level 90 for the +1 fire resistance. We come in here for the life nodes for now. We grab this dex, this, we're working toward life, and then another jewel socket. The whole tree is life and clusters and jewels. That's kind of it. As you can see, life, jewel socket, life, endurance charge, and more life. That's it. It's really, really simple. Yeah, I want to just like do a deep dive into this build, but like, listen, it's really not that hard, dude. We're an elementalist with 1 billion golems. We're carpet bombing everything. Okay, that's just what we do. As far as your actual ascendancy points go, we're using Liege of the Primordial. Of course, this is amazing. This is giving us +2, getting double to 4 by the helmet maximum golems. Making them immune to elemental damage, which makes them incredibly resilient. They auto summon after they die, so you don't have to do that anymore. And of course, you're getting the 100% buff to your golems, buff that they're providing to you. Shaper of Storms, that way we're getting a 25% shock, which is then getting scaled by our Anoint of Breath of Lightning. Did I take? Anyway, I think I bought my amulet and I forgot to put my Breath of Lightning on there. Oh, God. That's why I thought for some reason my POB was messed up. No, I didn't. The POB is not messed up. I'm the one that's messed up. So I need to do that in game. We take Shaper of Flames for the 40% physical DR. Or not, it's not 40% physical DR, excuse me. Let me be very clear. That is 40% of physical damage taken as is converted to fire on enemies that are ignited. And then, of course, we have Mastermind of Discord to get an extra 25% of exposure when we have our Arcanist brand down popping out Wave of Convictions. Let me go over a couple more things in regard to our Mercenary, and then that'll pretty much wrap the video up. Alrighty, so on our configuration, this is our configuration for the build currently. We don't have, we try to keep things honest with our configurations. We do have endurance charges. Are the minions always on full life? Pretty much always, yeah. They're either on full life or something has gone incredibly wrong and they're dead. There's not really much in between there, I'll be honest with you. We're always in stance. This never changes. We always have Feeding Frenzy. This never changes. Our exposure is always fire. This never changes. We do have this set for Guardian Pinnacle bosses, by the way. Burning and Ignited, yes. Shocked, yes. We have nothing else ticked because these are the only things that we are applying ourselves, and we can always have those up. This is all of our Mercenaries gear. So once again, to run down everything that our Mercenary is giving us right now, this is everything that we have. That's why I'm calculating it all. And again, we take her into boss fights and everything. We never have her not with us, and she's never not alive. Merc gives Cursing Ellie weakness. She has an Eye of Malice helmet on. She has an Haste Aura. She has Legacy of Fury, and she has Combs Bindings. This is everything that we're getting for having her with us. I had to. This is Ellie weakness. I just had to put it into nearby mod because, you know, config. Nearby enemies have minus 30% elemental resistance from Ellie weakness, 50% increased fire and cold resistance from the Eye of Malice. If you don't know how this works, because we're double cursing and we're breaking resistance with our Wave of Conviction plus the Elementalist extra 25, the resistances will move into the negative, and then the helmet will multiply that negative. So for example, if we curse something down to negative 50 fire res, the helmet will make that negative 75 fire res because you're getting an extra 50%, which is 25. Haste Aura is 24% cast speed and attack speed, which is what we have after that. Nearby enemies are scorched, and then we have our scorch effect from our boots here. Nearby enemies convert 25% of physical damage to fire from her belt. And then I also have this right here. I'm noticing that things like Pyro Shot Clasp and Combs Binding, they're not properly working in regard to actually showing what your actual in-game max hit is, which is why I have that broken down here in the config. So we're getting 40 fire shift from our Ascendancy, 25 from our Mercenaries belt, and then a 15-15 split from our belt, which is giving us 80% of physical damage taken as fire, and then 15% of physical damage taken as lightning damage, essentially. Which means 95% of all physical damage we take is now being thrown into our resistances, which, thanks to our brass dome, are at 83 right now. So very, very good there. I'll go ahead and leave you guys. I will see you guys at the next video. Bye-bye.